What's up, boys? We are back with another video showcasing more of the drift tuning cars here in GTA Online that were just added as part of the Money Fronts DLC drip feed. Next up, we are going over everybody's favorite drift tuning car, the Dinka Chavos V6. Obviously, I'm joking. I don't think anybody expected a Honda Accord that was rear-wheel drive already, which is weird in and of itself, to also be getting the drift tuning upgrade over something like the Elegy Retro Custom, Rockstar Logic at its finest. We have no idea what's going on. But anyway, today I wanted to showcase it, do a little build, show you guys some of the new liveries, and then also test this car with the drift tuning upgrade in place, see how it feels. So yeah, real quick, in case you guys don't know already, you can get the Dinka Chavos V6 from the Southern San Andreas Super Autos website for $1.42 million, which again, for a Honda Accord is ridiculous, but honestly, I think this is just like a backported car from GTA 6. So anyway, for whatever reason, Rockstar added drift tuning to it, so today we're going to be going over that. So let's head on in to the mod shop. All right, so in the mod shop now, and honestly, I will say, like, even though I give this car a lot of grief, it does look kind of good with some of the liveries that they added. I'll give it that, which is pretty nice. But anyway, yeah, first off is drift tuning. I already have this equipped on my car, of course, but if you guys don't know already, then the drift tuning upgrade is 50% off for this event week, which is the 14th of August to the 21st of August. So you guys have one full week to get these upgrades on your cars for as cheaply as possible. That's what I've done here already. So yeah, that's already done. Then the first major upgrade I do is armor. Just max it out. It doesn't affect weight or anything like that. So don't feel like you don't have to apply it because it's going to make the car slower. It won't affect it. So you max that out so that way it'll take impacts a little bit better. Then for the spoiler, I do have this ducktail on there because I just like the way it looks, to be honest. And again, as you'll see with some of the other drift tuning cars, the spoiler doesn't really make that big a difference, to be honest. With this car, I really don't feel much of a difference. So yeah, I just kind of go with whatever I think looks the best. Then for the suspension, I just lower this all the way down. The Chavos V6, when the drift tuning is equipped, it has a lot of body roll. Like, the suspension is like so soft and spongy. So doing anything you can to reduce the body roll, which the primary way to do that is by lowering the suspension, then I would recommend doing that, because even in its stock form, this car feels pretty good in terms of suspension stiffness, but for whatever reason, the drift tuning upgrade makes it feel like, I don't know, it feels like you're driving on a car with blown struts or something. It's crazy. But so yeah, suspension is all the way lowered there. And then going back up, I'll quick hit on the liveries here. So we got a bunch, and forgive me for not being able to pan all the way to the front of the car, but I believe the last one we got, yeah, was the Wasabi Kitty Fitment livery. Then next one we have TE Sports, which is what I'm running. Obviously a Spoon Sports inspired livery, which I think is super cool, especially with the right yellow. It just fits the bill of like a stereotypical like Honda build perfectly, and it looks really, really good. Next we got Sakura, which has the Sakura dense graphic on the side, and then like this two-tone like brown black color at the bottom, and then on the roof there. Cable reflection, kind of a race car type livery, to be honest. Doesn't really fit much on a drift car. Yoga Rishima, more crazy detailed graphics and everything on the hood, the doors and everything like that. Really cool. Then we have Arcana Penrith, another proper like drift car type livery, which is nice. Barbed wire graphics, things like that. Then we have Frank, which I believe is a reference to Frank Ocean, because this is a reference to a boat that sails in the ocean, Frank Ocean, and I know he has ties with Rockstar, so I think that kind of makes sense. Next up, we've got Higashi Spirit. This is a proper like hot boy drift car type livery, which is really cool. I love the way this looks. Then we have Process Color Drifter, another kind of busier drift type livery, still kind of cool. So yeah, those are the new liveries that we got for the Chavos V6, and I also will have a detailed video going over the liveries for all of these new cars, rather than just being, you know, split off into these. That'll be coming out later today. But anyway, those are all the upgrades that you'll need to focus on. Beyond that, the build is mostly simple, as I ran through already. So that's all done. So we're gonna head back out now to the docks and give this thing a rip. Alrighty, boys, so we're at the docks now, and I've done a little bit of practice with the Chavos V6, and my feelings are a little mixed, as you guys will see. In one way, this car is relatively smooth. Like, it's relatively easy to drive. No huge qualms with regard to, oh, it feels too understeery or oversteery. As I mentioned before in the mod shop, it does have a bit of body roll, but the suspension is pretty effective in reducing that. I think I was just testing the car out with the stock suspension and maybe forgot to do the suspension upgrade. So the suspension upgrade definitely does help, but the car does still roll a little bit, but not like dramatically so. With some other cars, the suspension softness is still kind of mostly identifiable or mostly noticeable when drift tuning or when the suspension upgrade is equipped. But with this car, it definitely masks it a little bit. However, that's not to say that this car is super agile. Even though this car does feel pretty quick in a straight line, when it comes to drifting, it does feel a little bit slower and a little bit smoother. It does have enough power to kind of drive through a corner without getting too hung up a little bit. If anything, it'll get hung up maybe on a transition or whatever because of the amount of body roll that it does have. But power wise, it feels mostly okay. But again, the suspension does sort of hold it back in terms of hitting really, really high speed corners. Like I'll take this one a little bit wider, for example. You can see it starts fine, then it kind of upshifts, and then it kind of gets into that one tire fire, a little bit of understeer feeling, but honestly, like, not bad. Like, it doesn't feel terrible, especially for a Honda Accord. I don't know, it just seems like such a foreign idea for a drift car, and obviously it is. And I don't know, I think I just want to kind of rip on this car because it's not like something like an LG Retro Custom that Rockstar decided to add drift tuning to, which kind of sucks, but I can't complain. You know, like, it is another drift tuning car. It's a little bit more diverse of a choice. If you guys are into drifting Honda Accords, if you have any interest in that, then you can give this car a rip. The only other thing I want to hit on with regard to this car's handling is kind of the safety cushion you have with angle. For whatever reason, this car feels a little bit less safe, I guess, while you're drifting it. So you could go for like a really aggressive transition and you feel like you have less, maybe not less angle, but just like less of a safety cushion with regard to spinning out, because I don't know if it's the car's weight distribution or the angle. I think it actually is a combination of the two. That the weight distribution, there isn't much going on over the rear wheels, so that means that if you go slightly over the car's angle limits, as opposed to other cars where you can kind of drive out of it, you can left foot brake out of it, with this car it kind of like you're fully spinning out almost. So yeah, that was my mistake right there. That wasn't because of the car, that was just a skill issue. But yeah, you guys might notice a little bit of a tendency to oversteer, slightly more so than some of the other drift tuning cars, which means that you have to be slightly more careful when it comes to the application of angle and aggressive transitions and everything like that. You might need to let off a little bit with transitions just to make sure that the car can accomplish it without totally over rotating. With other cars, I know, especially like the ZR350, I think that's the first example that popped into my head. You can do like full throttle transitions, just immediately throw it in the other direction, whereas this car you kind of have to be a little bit careful. You can see there I washed out a little bit, and I also transitioned way too aggressively for this car in specific. So yeah, honestly though, like on the whole, I don't know if I'd recommend this car specifically for drifting, because, you know, it is a Honda Accord, and also it is pretty expensive for what this car is. You could get a little bit of a better value when it comes to drift tuning car, but for those of you who already have this car, or maybe you're interested in checking it out because of the additional liveries, things like that, then definitely go and try it. Just know that it will cost you a little bit of money, and there is, again, better value out there for money. So yeah, I'd rank this car, again, like kind of like what I did with the Hellfire, a little bit closer to the middle, maybe middle lower part of the pack when it comes to drift tuning cars. So out of 20, I'd say this car is like past the top 10, like maybe 10th, 11th, 12th, that kind of range. So not the best, not the worst, feels mostly good for what it is, as I said before. And yeah, I guess no crazy complaints other than that. So hopefully you guys enjoyed this video, kind of talking about the Chavos V6 with the drift tuning upgrade. Still baffles me that this car is drift tuning now, but hopefully you guys found it enjoyable and informative. So yeah, I'm gonna get back to doing some more videos on these new builds. Hope you guys enjoyed this video. Feel free to drop a like on it, leave any feedback or comments down below, and also subscribe to the channel if you want to see some more drift tuning content coming in the near future. Thank you guys again for watching, and I will catch you guys in the next video.